Mohit from Udaipur, and we are one of the most prominent social networks working around Udaipur. So today we have Mr. Kunal Bagla, founder CEO of Arcgate. So thank you so much, sir, for having us here.
No, thank you for coming down. We've heard and read a lot of good things on Udaipur blogs, so keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, sir. So firstly, sir, I would like to start from like early life, your schoolings and everything, right?
Sure. So I was born in Udaipur.
Okay.
Went to St. Paul's till 6th standard, had a great time there, a wonderful school, and then ended up going to a boarding school, Doon School in Dehradun.
Okay, all right.
So from 6th to 12th, I was in a boarding school.
Okay, all right.
After that, I went to University of Texas in Austin for my undergraduate degree in Management Information Systems and Business Honors.
Right.
So did that for 4 years.
Okay.
Once I completed the education, I got recruited by Deloitte Consulting in Houston, Texas, which is one of the largest IT consulting and accounting firms in the world.
All right.
And that's how the journey started. Moved to Houston, did technology consulting for a number of years there.
Okay. So you were working for Deloitte for like 2 or 3 years?
No, I was there for a good, I think 6-7 years.
Okay.
Yes. I did a lot of large-scale technology projects with clients all over the US.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to know about like one person like who has been inspiring you, like seeing whom you were inspired to like build your own company or corporate like this.
Yeah. No, so it wasn't just one person. It's typically a journey or a sequence of events which molds you or motivates you into a particular direction.
Right.
In my case, I was doing consulting, like I mentioned, with Deloitte, and the world-class services which firms like a Deloitte or Accenture or Infosys are able to give to larger clients.
Yes.
I saw that need opening for fast-growing startups and companies in the US at that point. Again, this is back in 2004, 2005, after the dot-com bust. It's a very different environment than today. But even today, fast-growing companies typically do not get the attention of a larger BPO IT company, just because to start with, they need a lot of attention, and B, their size of business is very small, and there's a risk factor that if they don't do well, then it doesn't go anywhere. And that, in our experience, no one was tapping that market. We saw the opening, and I at that point transitioned, left Deloitte, and started this. Started Arcgate while I was still in Austin. Okay. We set up a small back office in Udaipur itself, out of pretty much a small garage kind of a setup. That's how we started, and we've grown organically over the last 14 plus years now.
Right.
One step at a time. So in terms of inspiration, you get inspired by all kind of people every day. A lot of them could be colleagues, people working with you. A lot of them could be clients or people you interact with, or industry leaders, but it's a combination.
Okay.
And along the way, over the years, there are always people who come out, see the good work you're doing, and contribute, help out in different ways. Whether it's guidance, whether it's opening, introductions, whether it's clients appreciating your work and giving you referrals. So it's a combination of all that.
So, any such fond memories from your schooling as well as your studies in Texas, or like till now building this Arcgate? So, fond memories about those times?
No, I think you always have good days and bad days, right? Yeah. So there are always fond memories, and every day is a you learn something new, and that's the beauty of IT and BPO industry, that there's so much to learn. Even now with automation and artificial intelligence and everything, people are talking about new wave and new set of learning. So, but that happens every time, right? When iOS, Android, mobile came, there was a new wave of technology or learning. But the key is to do something which you enjoy, and then be open to learn and make sure you never get overconfident or complacent that either you're too big or been too successful. So I think if you stick to the basics, do whatever is needed day in and day out, make sure your clients are happy, your employees are happy, everyone is progressing, then you can sit back and enjoy the hard work. But there are a lot of fond memories along the way. Every success is a fond memory. When you're growing a startup the way we are, right from 2% to almost 2,000 people. So everything is one step at a time.
Would you share with us most challenging things you have faced till now, regarding be it the corporate office or schooling or something like that?
No, I think challenges are part of your journey, right? So when you're working or you're studying, you'll always face hardships or challenges. Sometimes you may be not prepared for the exam or not understanding a topic in school.
Right.
Or at work, you're trying to solve a problem, meet a deadline for a client project, and you're behind, and you need to figure out how to get your team, to go that extra mile to hit the end goal. So there are always those challenges and tough times, but I think that's what shapes you as an organization or as a person. I think if you dodge those tough times and look for shortcuts in life, then it catches up with you very soon. So I think the key is to just keep your head down, do the basics well, learn one thing at a time, and if you fail, take it in a good stride, and keep moving along. And that's the way you'll progress in whatever field you are, whether it's IT, BPO, arts, if you like writing, whatever you're into. I think there's a lot of progress you can do in your lifetime.
So apart from this, Arcgate, what are the things you love to do, for your recreation and refreshments?
Yeah, so I think unfortunately, as working in a startup like Arcgate, you don't get too much time for your personal hobbies and personal life as such. But that's a decision or a lifestyle choice everyone takes. So no complaints about that. But in whatever free time I end up getting, of course, family and friends come first. So spend as much time with. I've got two lovely kids, so spend time with the kids and wife and family. But other than that, just reading a lot. So I like reading a lot of interesting business books and success stories. So that inspires you, gives you ideas. Or I like playing tennis or exercising. So when I get time, try to do that. But it's a combination of trying to unwind and seeing what other new advances or projects are happening in the world in different areas. Right, it could be outside of ID in biotech or other healthcare and other fields where it's good to learn and study the advances people are making.
And would you like to recommend some of the books, some business books which you have read and would be were very impactful for you? So
yeah, no, so I think there are a lot of good, interesting business books depending on your area of interest. Whether you like finance and investing, or you like company building and culture building. So there are books like there's a good book called Work Rules, which was written by the chief people officer at Google for 10 years. So he talks about all the things Google as a company did to build a good, healthy work culture. So that's a good book. There are a lot of good books on investing where there's value investing by Warren, all the books on Warren Buffett and so on. There's a good book called Principles by Ray Dalio recently. He's the biggest hedge fund manager in the world. And he talks about the principles which he used at work and his career to build a $200 billion hedge fund by letting people grow and speak based on merit and not tenure in a company or seniority and so on. So I think there's a lot of interesting with the internet and I think availability of content on whether it's offline, which I prefer on Amazon and so on, or online. There's no end to learning.
So as we know, Udaipur is really great for budding into entrepreneurs right now. There are many startups as well in Udaipur. So what advice would you like to give them to the new budding entrepreneurs? What has made you what were things helpful for you?
Yeah. No, I think the beauty is today entrepreneurship or startups are happening worldwide in places as far away, in different remote parts of Africa or Northern Europe and Australia. So I mean, it's all over. People are innovating and trying to work on different products and ideas, and it's becoming more acceptable to fail, right? So I think youngsters are willing to take that extra chance. But I think on the flip side, startups or doing your own venture has been glorified and made to look very sexy. When the reality is nothing close to that. It's a very painful process. So doing a 9 to 5 job is, there are times it's much easier working for a larger established corporation as working, compared to working with Arcgate or any other fast-growing company, right? Or when you're starting off, because you're pretty much on the job 24/7, trying to think about how to solve problems or make progress. So it's a very different dynamic DNA, the set of. And it's a long journey. It's not as if in 2 or 3 years you're going to be able to flip your startup and exit and retire on the beaches and islands. That's what they show in movies, but that's not the reality, right? So I think if you're in it for a long haul and you're trying to build a product or service or trying to solve a problem in the real world and in it for the long haul, then get into it. If you're getting into it purely just because you want to buy some luxurious product or get glorified, then you typically you'll be disillusioned. And which is what I see a lot among younger generation, whether it's in India or any other country where entrepreneurship is new, that you get into it because it's a wave, and then you realize that it's not as simple as it sounds. So there are of course pluses that if you innovate, you become entrepreneur, your destiny is in your own control, and it's up to you where you want to take your product, idea, business. On the flip side, you have to be aware of the realities that it's not as easy as what the media makes it look. So
yes. So, like, what are your daily goals? Like you said it, like you set it for long terms, or you set it for short term. Like, what would you suggest?
Yeah, so I think you always should have a strategic long-term vision of what you want to do in the next 6 to 12 months. I think anything longer than 12 months, is good as a life goal of what you want to be in 20 years. But things change so drastically and dramatically that most likely, if you come up with a 5-year business plan and a startup, that's going to change in 6 months. So there's no point spending too much energy in that strategy document. What is useful is to know where you want to be 12 months from now, and then quarter over quarter, month over month, have some small baby steps and achievements, milestones which you want to hit, and as you hit those, you make progress.
All right. So, what like you must be having like some life mantras like which would be working for you day and night. So, would you like to tell us something about like some mantras which would be helpful for us as well, us as youngsters?
I think the biggest mantra is you have to work hard. You have to work hard, keep your focus, stay grounded, and never let success or overconfidence get to you.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, be nice to people, and do your work. Appreciate people who are around you for their strengths, weaknesses, whatever it is. And third is focus on ethics. Right, always do what's right. Don't try to take the shortcuts in life because you will be offered those. So do what you think is the right thing, so that you can look back at your career and be proud that even wherever you get to, you never did anything which was not you couldn't have gone to your parents and said I did this, right? So I think till you feel good about it, you can sleep well at night. I think those are the basics which a lot of people tend to forget.
So one thing like that motivates you daily to like get up in the morning and do as much as you can, like work hard as much as you can.
Yeah, no, I think if you're working on interesting problems or products that you're trying to solve or innovate, anytime in the morning you get in the shower, your brain will automatically start thinking about the day ahead and how you want to approach the day, and you'll get excited about getting into work, right? Whereas if you're working on something which doesn't interest you or it's not exciting, then getting into work is painful, right? So I think the key is take on interesting problems, projects, learn more, drive yourself into continuous improvement, and automatically your days will be better. You'll be more energized and you'll be more balanced with less stress, and you'll enjoy your work life.
So, would you like to give us a little brief about Arcgate? Like, how did it started, and what was the idea behind bringing this?
Sure. Yes, we started in 2005, and we started. I was in Austin. The back office was set up here in Udaipur by my father. Like I said, it's all bootstrapped. We've never raised external funding, nor do we have any plans right now. And we grew it organically using common sense business of making sure we are not wasting money where it doesn't need to get spent, and everyone who we are bringing onto the core team, contributes in a very disciplined, honest way and keeps learning along the way. So we built the company over the last 14 years, one step at a time, working with, our focus is high growth companies, typically in the technology media space in the US. And we built it over time through a lot of good customer references. A lot of our customers have been with us for the 12, 14 years that we've been around. So that in itself proves that the work our people are doing and services we are providing in a very ethical, honest way is something which is trusted and transparent to our customers, and we've grown along with them. So the journey from 2 people to 2,000 has a lot of stories, lot of interesting events. But at the end of the day, it's all about people. In the business of IT BPO, which is services based, it's about the people who come on board with you, believe in you, and roll up the sleeves to do the work and not sit in a corner office giving instructions. I think those are the kind of go-getters, go-setters, people who just know how to execute and are willing to do anything without thinking too much about it's not their job and so on. I think once you build a team around that, then you as a collective unit are able to make progress. And Udaipur had a lot of challenges in 2005. There was no proper even internet bandwidth, right? So we've grown from those days, which a lot of youngsters now take for granted, We had dial-up connection. So I think the basics we've progressed a lot, but the key is to keep our heads down and keep growing, because I think the opportunity is huge. There's no reason why we can't probably grow 5 to 10x from here in the next few years, because we've got a pretty strong foundation, and the kind of work we do, there's a huge market for it and huge demand which will keep growing. So it's a matter of us being able to scale up from here and create a lot of hopefully good employment, good opportunities for the youth in Udaipur and surrounding areas. So we want a lot of young women, young ladies, or women who are even after marriage, or once they've had kids and settled down. We want them to have an option to be able to come to a safe, good environment which they can call their workplace, do good work 9 to 6 while the sun is out, and then go home to their families. So I think we want to create those job opportunities. We want to make sure that the education system keeps growing in this region, and in 5-10 years, people can look at a place like Udaipur and say it's no less than a Pune or Gurgaon or something. And I don't see a reason why we cannot. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done. We are very, very early in the game. But Udaipur has a lot going for it in terms of safety, low crime, good people, good infrastructure, clean air. So I think we need to capitalize on that. And I think as a community where everyone comes together, works together in a positive way without too many negatives, hopefully everyone will do well and grow and create opportunities for a better life for our generation and kids and so on.
So can you just since like Udaipur is your hometown as well, so would you like to tell us 3 best things about Udaipur, like you love them the most?
Yes, the biggest is less traffic, though it's getting worse. 5 years back, you could get to office and back pretty quickly. Now the roads are getting more congested, but even relatively, comparatively, it's a lot better than other cities. 2 is, of course, the people and the environment, the culture, the art. The people are nice, friendly, low crime, safe for kids. And 3rd is, I think it just is a pretty city, right? I mean, it's got the lakes and hills and good environment. So it's a good place to raise your family, call it a home. And with the increased air connectivity and train connectivity, I think those limitations which were there 10 years back are slowly going to get out, where the infrastructure and the basic amenities in any smart city now would be there in a few years, right? So I think with a good leadership, with a good prime minister forward thinking, hopefully next 4 years should be nice. Right. So, would you like to tell us about your food habits? Which one is your favorite cuisine, or what things you really like to enjoy? Yeah. So I'm not too big a foodie, but I typically like Indian cuisine. Although I eat everything else also, but typically I'm a naan paneer kind of a person when we go out. But I try to avoid going out too much given the long working hours. But it's mostly home cooked good food. Try to stay healthy in terms of not too much, not too heavy a meal. But I eat properly. I eat my meals. I enjoy the food and try to get in some exercise. Though it's been tough last 10 years, kind of get back into shape. So. Right. So last but not the least, we would like to have our people a special message from you. Like we at Udaipur blog and the people around Udaipur would like to have a special message. Like what would you like to tell them? Yeah, no, I think the key only message I can say is the education, employment, and progress is what will make any society go forward. Right. Those are the only 3 things which historically have shown progress and growth and happiness. Right. So I think to do that, people need to, I think, roll up the sleeves and have bigger vision and get focus more on education, helping their children progress in life, work in environments like our organization, and hope that Udaipur can move beyond just hospitality and travel as an industry into other sectors like an IT, BPO services sector, which have tremendous growth, highly respectful industry, good use of your education. So we want everyone to be aware of that this is also an industry here, and try to grow that ecosystem where hopefully 5-10 years from now, like I said, this can be a pretty large center for a lot of the services and delivery of work across the world. So that will be something to be proud about, that Udaipur comes on just the way it got on the map with the high-end weddings and hospitality. Hopefully services sector can be another feather in the cap and take it forward.
So thank you, sir. That was
No, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it and good luck.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.